So we'll begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open. Hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. Try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning. We also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. And begin to let go of attending to the outside world, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are. No need to investigate. Constraining your awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation that accompanies the in-breath and the out-breath in the space around the opening of the nostrils. Giving yourself the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind. And then without judgment or frustration to lift your awareness up from those distractions and to place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, we'll generate a broad altruistic motivation for our time. So we think over beginningless past lives. The one thing that we've never done is to fully complete a training in the path to enlightenment. in large part because again and again we became intoxicated with the pleasure of this life. And if not that, then we were oppressed by suffering, lacking the freedom to choose to engage in the training. But in this life, we're free from those extremes of oppression. So the danger is once again falling into intoxication with the sensory enjoyment available. And in so doing, not having the time or the space to engage in sustained practice. So I think sentient beings need us to develop renunciation. They need us to engage in this process, to turn away from temporary, ultimately unsatisfying sources of just sensory pleasure, to find this deeper purpose so that we can transform our minds by clearly seeing the nature of reality, can turn our time, our attention to something more meaningful. And we do that by seeing clearly the disadvantages of cyclic existence, so that we generate that time, that space, that energy to go beyond creating the causes for more and more of our own samsara, wanting to accomplish that not for our own benefit, but for the benefit of these uncountable sentient beings that don't have that choice, aren't able to have the causes and conditions come together for them to engage in this process. These sentient beings who've been limitlessly kind to oneself. So thinking in that way, we take that as our purpose, developing genuine disenchantment with cyclic existence to provide ourselves the ability to transcend it. And with that motivation, today we'll finish the 6 sufferings by contemplating the final 3. The first of these final 3 is rebirth without beginning. Now, as far back as we might look, even with omniscient mind, as the Buddha did with his omniscient mind, there's no first moment of cyclic existence, no beginning point, no first life. As the mind has its own continuity, each moment of mind, creating the cause for the next moment of mind. And the mind is both beginningless and endless, not arising from matter, not ceasing when matter is destroyed. So every kind of body, every kind of experience has been part of this continuity, rebirth after rebirth, mind existing before and after each body. If we think of this life, this particular configuration of causes and conditions, this body, these relationships, these fears, these aspirations, this feels like me. But how many times have there been other versions, each one having a sense of me, having attachment to a particular configuration of body relationships, desires, each one involved with acquiring, building, developing, and each one ended, each identity dissolved. And what has all of this cycling produced? Try to feel a sense of weariness at this process. The second on this list is the constant reversal of fortune and reversal of status. So think again in your own life something that you worked hard to achieve. In professional accomplishment or financial stability, anything that you built that you feel some ownership of. And now think about its actual nature, its stability. Think how many relationships have felt permanent but have changed or ended. How the body in our youth felt strong and how that has changed. How times of clarity, certainty gave rise to uncertainty, doubt. To think this idea of stability is simply not borne out by experience. Anything that arose due to causes and conditions can fall away due to the arising of different causes, conditions. If by analyzing in this way you can generate a sense of the fundamental impermanence of things, the lack of solidity, and see how trusting in the false view of permanence is ultimately unsatisfying, giving rise to putting time and energy and effort again and again into things that fall apart. And if that spurs in you a desire to refocus your energy, your effort toward something truly worthwhile, truly permanent, complete cessation of suffering, lasting, permanent peace, then settle your mind in that determination. And the final of the six sufferings is ultimately having no companions. So if we think of our birth, coming into this world, we had to experience that alone, the shock of that transition. It's something that we had to deal with individually. And at the time of our death, the mind will separate from this body and travel on completely alone. We may be surrounded by friends and family at the time of our death. We may not. But either way, the process of the dissolution of the body, the separation of the body and the mind, the falling away of the ego identity, the experience of entering the intermediate state, these will all be experienced by oneself alone. At that time, it is only the training that we've done, the familiarities, the habits that we've cultivated, the karma that we've used this life to establish that will determine that process. I think how much time is spent in this life trying to gather external conditions rather than internal conditions. Not even the Buddhas, with their infinite love and compassion, their omniscience, can safeguard our death for us. At best, they can help to trigger the positive karma that we ourselves would have had to have created. So reflect on these three sufferings of cyclic existence, taking rebirth again and again, constantly changing our status, our fortunes, and having no real protection from others. And allow that sense of weariness to arise, wanting something better, and recognizing that that is the state of enlightenment. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. We'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in your mind. Think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings, without exception. Thinking strongly when this positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment so that I might work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Ven.Losang life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.